Welcome back, viewers. It's so good to see you again. Thank you so much for sticking with us and supporting our little community. We hope to see you more in future. Have you ever given everything to someone only to be tossed aside like yesterday's trash? What if the person you thought was your forever turned out to be your biggest heartbreak? And what if just what I fire second chance at love came wrapped in the most shocking twist you never saw coming? Today's story is about Jane, a woman who gave love, body, soul, and everything in between, and still ended up rejected. But that rejection, it was just the beginning of a story you won't believe. Stay with me. The title of today's story is Rejected by All, Accepted by One. Let's proceed. Jane was 28, soft-spoken, beautiful but in that effortless, quiet way. The kind of woman that didn't know how much light she gave to the world, and maybe that was her greatest flaw. She had been in a relationship with Charles for 7 years. 7 long years of loyalty, sacrifice, and waiting. And when I say sacrifice, I mean the kind of sacrifice that most women don't talk about out loud. Jane had sickle cell. Quietly managed, quietly endured. But even on her worst days, she found the strength to smile for Charles, to make him soup, to please him in bed even when her body screamed for rest. But what did Charles do with all that love? He woke up one morning and simply said, "I think we've outgrown each other. I'm not feeling it anymore." No warning, no apology, just vibes and betrayal. Jane cried for days, weeks even. Friends told her to move on. But how do you move on when you gave someone the most vulnerable parts of you and they used it against you? It was just the heartbreak that broke her. It was the humiliation, because 3 months after that breakup, Charles was engaged to a lady he met on a flight. Yes, a flight. Jane deleted her socials. She stopped picking calls. She barely ate. Her world dimmed. And when suitors came, they left just as fast. You're beautiful, but sickle cell. Then one day, her stepmother dropped the bomb. Her stepsister, Tracy, had been arranged to marry an older billionaire, 55, a businessman with wealth, but rumored to be sick, possibly dying. Tracy refused, said she could marry a man older than her father. So the family turned to Jane. "Just do it," her stepmother said. "You're not getting any younger. You're not exactly flooded with options." Jane wanted to scream, but her silence screamed louder. After all, what did she have left to lose? Before we continue, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. Thank you so much for staying till this time. Now, back to the story. And so, she said yes. A wedding planned in 1 week. No pre-wedding photos. No excitement. Just a hush-hush union with a man she had never met. They told her his name was Chief Kenneth Carter, owner of KC Holdings. He was old money and private. Jane only knew she was marrying someone 27 years older. On the wedding day, she wore the dress like it was armor. Her face, beaten with makeup, but her heart, hollow. When the officiant said, "You may now kiss the bride," she turned slowly, expecting to meet a wrinkled face, gray eyes, and a weak smile. Instead, she locked eyes with the most handsome man she'd ever seen. Tall, suited, sharp, like he walked out of a GQ magazine. Jane blinked. He smiled. "Hi," he whispered, "I'm Ken. And I'm not what they told you I am." The reception was simple but classy. Jane noticed something odd. The guests weren't elderly businessmen or distant uncles. They were young, stylish, and they all bowed with respect when Ken spoke. That night, in their hotel suite, she asked, "What's going on?" Ken poured her wine. Then he said something that shifted her whole universe. "I'm not 55. I'm 35. The sick man's story. Just bait. I wanted someone who could choose me with zero expectations. Someone who would marry me not for clout but for survival. You were the only one who said yes." Jane choked on her wine. "What? You tricked me. I tested you," he replied, "and you passed." Kenneth Carter was the CEO of KC Holdings, a multi-million-dollar conglomerate in tech, fashion, and real estate. Featured on Forbes United States and worldwide. Secretive, never on social media. Women chased him. Celebrities begged to be seen with him. But he had trust issues. Too many gold diggers. Too many fake smiles. So he gave his family one task: find a woman who would choose him with nothing on the table. That woman was Jane. Within a month, Jane's life turned around. Private jets, passport stamps, designer clothes. But more importantly, Ken loved her genuinely. Her condition. He handled her crises personally. He sat by her hospital bed. He never missed a dose. The world began to ask, "Who is this girl?" Some still whispered, "She's not beautiful enough." But Ken silenced them by putting a 1.5-carat ring on her finger for their 6-month anniversary. 6 months into their marriage, Jane got an unexpected call. It was Charles, crying, apologizing, telling her he made a mistake, that his new wife cheated on him with his best friend. Jane smiled softly. "God doesn't punish," she said. "He replaces. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes rejection is the universe's redirection." Jane was once the girl nobody wanted. Today, she's the woman everyone envies. So I ask you, would you say yes to a life you didn't understand just to escape the one that almost destroyed you? And more importantly, would you recognize your blessing, even if it wore the mask of misfortune? Join me next week for another tale that proves life writes the best fiction. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.